she got caught. She got caught. And I am looking at her qualifications, and I am looking at her record. And I don't know that she didn't help write this letter. I know she signed it. And I know she tried to hide it from this committee. You had an opinion in your letter about immigration. You said immigration detention poses the same health risk to jails and prisons, and Connecticut law enforcement must stop feeding people into the unsafe and inhumane immigration detention system. Then you say Governor Lamont should release all individuals currently in state custody who are awaiting transfer to ICE custody, and the governor should declare a moratorium on all such future transfers. How, if somebody is in our country illegally and commits a crime, are you going to put them in jail if you believe this about immigration?
Today we have another explosive moment from Capitol Hill. Senator John Kennedy just caught a Democrat judicial nominee in a massive contradiction, live on camera. And let me tell you, this one is bad. The senator pulls out hard evidence, confronts her, and exposes the truth. Her reaction? Priceless. This is the kind of moment that shows why these hearings matter. So here's how it starts. Senator Kennedy is reviewing the nominee's past, her statements, and her qualifications. Everything seems to be going as expected, until he pulls out a signed letter that she apparently forgot to turn over to the committee. That's when things start to get real interesting. Stick around and let's dive right in.
Professor, I'm looking at a letter dated March 16, 2020. It's a letter to Governor Lamont in Connecticut. The title of it is Urgent Action Needed to Protect Individuals in Connecticut's Prisons and Jails from Coronavirus 19 Pandemic. Did you sign that letter?
So I don't recall sitting here today, Senator.
Here's your signature. Here is back here. Why didn't you turn this over to us when you were asked to submit documents?
So, Senator, I made every effort to search for everything that I had ever signed. That's not a letter I remember, but I will certainly take a look at that. And
we found it just with a search on the internet.
So I apologize, Senator. I apologize.
In your letter to the governor, here's what you say. As they stand, prisons and jails are detrimental to public health and human rights and disproportionately harm marginalized communities, including Black, Brown, Indigenous, and other communities of color, immigrants, people with mental illness, people with disabilities, people in the LGBTQ plus community, people who use drugs, people engaged in sex work and street economies, and people experiencing houselessness and poverty. So if you believe that about our prisons, how are you going to ever sentence somebody to prison?
So, Senator, I will need to take a look at that letter, and I apologize that that's not something I found to hand to this committee.
You're not denying you said that.
I do need to see the letter to see the context, because again, it's not something I remember adding my name to. Yeah. I can assure you, right. Senator.
And you also say, first, you call on Governor Lamont to release everybody in jail. Is that right? Because of the coronavirus?
So again, Senator, I would need to see that letter in front of me. It certainly was not.
You can find it just put your name into Google. You'll find it in about 3 nanoseconds.
I will, Senator. I can assure you that
You said in your letter, Professor, we call on Governor Lamont, state of Connecticut, and all Connecticut jurisdictions to immediate release to the maximum extent possible people incarcerated pre-trial and post-conviction. And then you also say Governor Lamont should issue an executive order to direct the state's attorney offices and law enforcement entities, including the town and city police departments, and any federal law enforcement entity operating within the state to immediately cease adding to the incarcerated prison population given the high risk of infection posed by the population increase. You asked the governors to tell every law enforcement official in the state to stop arresting people and putting them in jail, didn't you?
So again, Senator, I have to look at that letter.
remember.
I do think there were modifications that the governors were making around the country to respond to the
You also
pandemic.
had an opinion in your letter about, can I have another 30 seconds, Mr.? You had an opinion in your letter about immigration. You said immigration detention poses the same health risk to jails and prisons, and Connecticut law enforcement must stop feeding people into the unsafe and inhumane immigration detention system. Then you say Governor Lamont should release all individuals currently in state custody who are waiting transfer to ICE custody, and the governor should declare a moratorium on all such future transfers. How, if somebody is in our country illegally and commits a crime, are you going to put them in jail if you believe this about immigration?
Senator, I can assure you, were I so fortunate to be confirmed, I would treat crimes
That's not
seriously.
what this letter says, Professor, and it was 3 years ago. Wasn't when you were in law school, and you didn't turn it over to us. We had to find it on our own.
Folks, this was a masterclass in how to expose dishonesty. Senator Kennedy walked in prepared, armed with facts, and he absolutely dismantled this nominee's credibility. She tried to dodge, she tried to deny, she even tried to hide the letter from the committee, but Kennedy wasn't having it. He had the receipts and he used them. This is exactly why hearings like these matter, because words have consequences. If you sign your name to radical ideas, own it. If you don't believe in putting criminals in jail, you have no business sitting on the bench. And Kennedy made that crystal clear. So what do you think? Should a nominee who got caught red-handed in a lie be trusted with a lifetime judicial appointment? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And before you go, hit that like button if you support Kennedy for holding nominees accountable. Subscribe for more no-nonsense political takedowns, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.